Do you think that the climate will be different after President Trump than it was
Well, we'll
beforehand?
see. I don't know. I mean, I'm not a fortune teller, but I can tell you that the calls I've gotten from sitting Republicans in powerful positions, they know me. They know I level with them. They know I never mislead. They know I tell them the truth. And they know I don't go out of my way to try to embarrass.
Joe Biden makes another pitch to Republicans. Let's talk about it now with Maryland's governor, Republican Governor Larry Hogan. Governor, you heard Joe Biden. He talked in his campaign about reaching out to Republicans. What's your sense? Is he doing it?
Well, so far, I think he is doing it. You know, I liked what he had to say at the end of the campaign, where he said it didn't matter if you voted for him or not. He wanted to be a president for all Americans, and that he was going to reach out in a bipartisan way. I can tell you that we've had a couple of conversations already. He did reach out to the governors on both sides of the aisle. He seems to be listening to us and our concerns about the things that are important in our state as we go through this critical fight against the virus and the economic troubles we're going through. So I'm hoping he's going to follow through on that. I know your previous guest probably would like him to move more to the left, but I've been pushing to try to keep him, in a more moderate place where he's willing to reach across the aisle and work together with Republicans.
Yeah, it was interesting to hear Senator Sanders suggest there isn't a progressive yet among his nominees for his cabinet. Let me ask you, though, we have 24 days left of Donald Trump, and we've seen these pardons for his political allies, the veto of the defense bill, of course, refusing to sign, apparently, this COVID relief bill. Are you concerned about the damage Donald Trump could do in his final weeks in office?
Well, obviously, I just gave up guessing what he might do next, but it has been troubling, particularly vetoing the defense authorization bill. This is something that has overwhelming majorities of Republicans and Democrats and has been signed into law by the president 60 years in a row. But the one that really bothers me is the fact that for 8 months we've been trying to get a stimulus package through. And here we are, after all this work went on, and both parties were so far apart in the House and the Senate. The Problem Solvers Caucus, some really bipartisan folks on both sides of the aisle brought everybody to the table. They reached an agreement. Secretary Mnuchin worked together with them and made commitments on behalf of the administration. And then not 8 months before or even 8 days before, but after it was passed, then the president raises these objections. Look, millions of people are going to suffer. The Paycheck Protection Plan ran out in July. Unemployment benefits are about to run out tomorrow. And we've got to get this done.
So why aren't more Republicans standing up to him?
Well, I think more and more are and will, and I can tell you there's an awful lot of concern right now. I mean, Republicans were put in this position. A lot of them came to support this bill, even though they didn't like everything that was in it, even though perhaps it didn't have all the things we needed in it. Like, we've been pushing for help for state and local governments since April, when we had a commitment from the president. It's not in the bill. Now the Republicans did have a bill for $1.8 billion, as you were talking about, and Pelosi turned it down. She was holding out for 3.4 trillion. So now here we are with 900. It's not enough. It doesn't solve all the problems, but it's something. And if the president wants to come up with more money to help more people, terrific. Let's sign this bill now so we can start getting our unemployment benefits out right away, and then quickly pass another bill.
He's also still focused on challenging the election results, planning a last-ditch effort on January 6th when the Electoral College votes are formally brought into Congress. What is it going to take for Republicans? And we see, like, in some polls, upwards of 70% of Republican voters who think there was widespread fraud despite the lack of evidence. What's it going to take to convince people that Joe Biden, people in your party, that Joe Biden is the properly elected president-elect of the United States?
Well, Joe Biden is the properly elected president of the United States, whether people like that result or not. And he is the president-elect. He will be sworn in on January 20th. And on January 6th, which is coming up pretty soon, he will be certified by the Congress. So, look, there's a lot of disinformation out there. Everybody wants every single legal vote to be counted. We want the election to be fair and proper. But like you say, we haven't seen any evidence of widespread fraud. And you know, people feel like there is, but they haven't proven it in a court of law.
And last question: what kind of influence does Trump have after he leaves the White House? Is he still the kingmaker of the Republican Party? Does he control this party?
Well, he certainly has an oversized voice in the party. It's going to be a lot different after January 20th, when he's not in a position to exert such influence as he does now. But there's no question he's not going away, and there's going to be a big chunk of the Republican Party that's going to still follow his Twitter page and listen to what he has to say. There's an awful lot of people that want to be the next Donald Trump, but I'm going to be fighting to try to return our party to its roots and to become a bigger tent party, to reach out, a more Reagan-esque party, more positive, hopeful vision for the future. All right, Governor Hogan, thank you very much for joining us, and Happy New Year.
Hi, everyone. George Stephanopoulos here. Thanks for checking out the ABC News YouTube channel. If you'd like to get more videos, show highlights, and watch live event coverage, click on the right over here to subscribe to our channel. And don't forget to download the ABC News app for breaking news alerts. Thanks for watching.